cult following of the x-pro1 on YouTube inspired me to take the camera on holiday. The recent hype surrounding the straight out of camera colours from the x-trans1 sensor are really no fallacy. As a hobbyist who has done more than her fair share of gear acquisition syndrome influenced camera testing, the hybrid viewfinder feature is worth it. Using the x-pro1 has enriched my photography experience and introduced a new layer of excitement to reviewing my photos, with slightly lower stakes than film photography. I also enjoyed the lack of Wi-Fi on the x-pro1 because it forced me, an X-app happy X-T3 owner, to wait for a dedicated moment to review my photos, rather than transferring my immediate favourite and forgetting other moments. I even ended up covering the screen of the x-pro1 with gaffer tape to enhance the roll of film-like effect. All of these images displayed are directly from the camera via a recipe on the ProNeg High film simulation, which I'll put in the description. I also included moments where I messed up the exposure or didn't take the photo I was expecting to. You might see some incredibly lo-fi moments, but I actually really enjoyed reviewing those, even if the photo wasn't perfect. Film has its own distinct energy, style, and colour profile depending on your film stock, so I won't pretend that the x-pro1 is a catch-all alternative to film photography. Nonetheless, there is something to be said for the grain at high ISOs, which the original X-Trans sensor just presents in a highly natural way. For my first YouTube video, I do want to avoid technical jargon, so I won't go any further in terms of these capabilities today. This camera experience forced me to reflect and be slower. Intentional photography can be harder to maintain when faced with the snappy, instant nature of most digital cameras today. I can sometimes get hung up on the colours or exposure generated by the sensor, spray and pray, and forget that the whole point of photography, at least for me, is artistic expression. This month caused me to ask myself, as a green photographer, am I relying on the algorithms to give me a well-exposed photo and skipping the foundations of light, composition, and story altogether? Overall, I've really enjoyed my time with the x-pro1 so far. I feel like I'm beginning to learn how to anticipate moments and to go out shooting even when I feel uncomfortable in the street. I think I'd like to focus on developing my photographic eye and simplifying my compositions to make more impactful images. I also really enjoyed working in black and white and would like to do this more to refine my understanding of tone and tonal balance. I'm excited to progress further, to reflect on my first YouTube video as well as the photographs presented with new insights in the future. Thank you if you've watched this. I hope we'll meet again soon. And finally, enjoy the x-pro1 shutter sound.